viewers, and welcome back to this channel once again. My name is Azaria, a student at Vouch Initiative International. In today's video, I will be bringing you the part 2 of the Cisco Packet Tracer, and in this video, I'll be walking you through how to set a security on your console line, the VTR and then SSH. Without much ado, please let's head on to the video.
Okay, so let's open our Cisco Packet Tracer. Now, you should drag in some 2911 router and then a switch. I then add some 2 pieces which we'll use for our connectivity check. I'll then now connect them together using the copper straight through cable. Here, first. Okay, so I'm done connecting these devices together. Now, as we are all aware, the layer 2 switch is not routing aware, so we need to set its VLAN interface, not the routing interface. So now I'm at the user exec mode, so I have to enter enable to move from user exec mode to privilege exec mode. Then from privilege exec mode, I have to type in config terminal to move from privilege exec mode to configuration mode. So here is the stage where I can actually do some configuration on the device. So now we are going to set an IP address on the VLAN interface of the layer 2, which is the switch. So I'll need to type in interface. I normally use the shortcut, but if you want the full, you can just enter it using the tab key to autocomplete. So interface VLAN 1. Hit enter. IP add. I'm using the 192.168.0.10 network and the subnet mask of 255.255. Sorry, .255.255.0. You have to enable the interface by typing the no shutdown command. No shutdown. Now you can see the interface is up now. Now you can end this and type show IP interface brief. Now you can see down here we have our VLAN 1, which is IP address, and the status is up, the protocol is up. Okay, so now let's configure our PCs too. Sorry, first let's do the router. So on the router, I'll click on my CLI, which is the command line interface. So I'm being asked, would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog? I'll enter no. I want to configure everything myself. So we are being greeted with the user exec mode. So here I'll enter the enable command to move from privilege exec mode to privilege exec. To move from user exec mode to privilege exec mode, and from privilege exec mode I'll enter the conf t, which is the configure terminal, to move from privilege exec mode to configuration terminal. Now I'm on the configuration terminal, so I then identify the interface. So here in our diagram you see the interface is not showing. So to make this interface show, come over here to the options, select preferences. From preferences, you allow show port labels in logical workspace. And that's it. Close it. So now you can see the ports is labeled. So the Ethernet port labeled from router 1 to the switch is gigabyte 0/0. So I open the router. We've already typed in the interface. interface G0/0, hit enter. Now I'm on that interface, that port. So now I need to add an IP address. So IP add 192.168.0.254 255.255.255.0. Enter. So I hit the no shutdown command, no shutdown, to enable the interface. Right, now the interface is enabled. So here we can end this and then view what we just did, the IP interface brief. So show IP interface brief. So here we can see our interface gigabytes 0/0 has an IP address of 192.168.0.254, and then its status and protocol is up, which means we've successfully configured our interface. Now let's move on to our PCs and then give them some IP address. Note that any device using the internet has an IP address. So here we need to fill in the default gateway, and then our default gateway is going to be the router IP address. So it's 192.168.0.254, and then go to the interface of the PC. Sorry, invalid. Okay, I think we made a typo. If you can do it right, 192.168.0.254. Okay, then I move on to the interface. They'll give it an IP address of 192.168.0. Since we gave the switch .10, we need to change the IP address of the PC and make it .11 with an interface subnet max of 255.255.255. Now let's do the same on PC2 here. Config. The default gateway is going to be our router, which is 192.168.0.254. That is our default gateway, and then the interface is 192.168.0.12 with a subnet max of 255.255.255.0. Now let's see if we can pin our default gateway from here. So pin 192.168.0.254, and yes, we are able to pin our router, which is the default gateway. Now let's try PC1 if you can also do the same thing here. Select our command prompts, then hit the pin 192.168.0.254. Okay, voila. We can also pin from PC1 as well. So which means we have connectivity through this internet or through these devices. We have connectivity. So here, let's say I want to telnet to my router. All right. Telnet is a connection. It's a remote connection, which I'll apply on the router to enable the PC to be able to telnet to it without moving from my desk to the server room to configure the switch. So I'm trying to telnet my default gateway, which is the router, and look at the message it tells me. First, it's telling me that it's trying to open my default gateway's device, which is 192.168.0.254. It's saying it's open here, but down here it's saying connection to 192.168.0.254 closed by foreign host. This is due to we've not yet configured the VTR, which is a telnet connection on our device on the router yet. So to enable that, we need to move from privilege exec mode to conf t. Now in the conf t, we need to put a password on our console, because we wouldn't like any random person from the workspace just plugging in a cable and configuring our device. That wouldn't be appropriate. So let's configure a password on our console line. The console line simply means the connection you have from the device you've bought, or the router or a switch, to your computer. That is termed as the console cable. That is why I'm saying a console. So from here, if you don't know the command to hit, you can just enter the question mark. It will bring you all sorts of commands you need to plug in into the privilege level you are. So here we need to type in the line command. It's in the line command, configure a terminal line. That is what we want. So we hit the line, then a question mark. So you see we have the aux, which is the auxiliary line, and then the console, which is the primary terminal line. That is what we want now. So we type in the line console. Then the line console, it has a limited number of users that can connect to the device, and here is only 0, which is only one person can connect to that device. So console, line console 0. So here we need to set a password. So password, sorry, I'm gonna type password. A password of vouch 1 on our console cable. Here we need to specify, do we want the password to appear whenever we try to log in, or we plug in our console cable and our device turns on? Do we want that or not? So if you want our device to first ask for a password, or like, that is a good practice. So we need to specify the login command here, which will enable us to hit our password first before we get access to the device. So let's identify it here, or let me show you right here. So I'll exit from here. So as soon as I hit the enter command, it's asking me to enter the password we put on our console before we can able to even see the console cable or the console device. So here we need to put in the password we enabled, so vouch 1. Now you can see we've granted the access. Okay, I'll continue next time.
Okay, thank you guys for staying true to the end of today's video. I hope you liked it. Please don't forget to subscribe, like and comment. Also share. Thank you.